Cowboys Nation, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. And if you love the Dallas Cowboys like we do, go ahead and hit that like button right now because this team is working overtime to bounce back stronger, faster, and smarter in 2025. Every day this offseason, the Cowboys have been focused on one thing: improvement. After a disappointing 7-10 season filled with injuries, setbacks, and uncertainty, this organization is doing everything it can to reset, reload, and return to dominance. From revamping the coaching staff to retooling the roster, the focus is clear: bring results back to Dallas. And today we've got an exclusive update that could be a major step in that direction. Let's talk about a potential new signing. A former Super Bowl champion and proven defensive leader with over 500 career tackles, linebacker Ja'Whaun Bentley. Yep, you heard that right. Let's break it down. Let's start with the facts. One of the Cowboys' biggest problems on defense in recent years has been staying healthy. Whether it's the defensive line, the secondary, or the linebacker core, injuries have kept this unit from reaching its full potential. And now, with DeMarvion Overshown still recovering from a devastating triple ligament knee injury, Dallas may be looking for someone who can step in, lead, and deliver from day one. Enter Ja'Whaun Bentley. Bentley, just 28 years old, was a leader on the New England Patriots defense before a torn pectoral ended his 2024 season in Week 2. But before that injury, the guy was a machine, 3 straight seasons with 100-plus tackles, a vocal leader in the locker room, a Super Bowl ring, and a toughness that fits the Cowboys' identity. NFL analysis reports that Bentley is now fully healthy and ready to contribute, and he's still on the open market. With Dallas estimated to have around $32 million in cap space, the team has room to make a few key moves before training camp begins, and this one? It makes a lot of sense. Let's not forget, the Cowboys have already invested heavily in their defense this offseason. They used Day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft to add edge rusher Donovan Ezeruaku, who had 16.5 sacks last season at Boston College, and cornerback Shaven Revel Jr., a first-round talent who fell due to an ACL injury, but could bounce back quickly. There's a plan here, but Bentley would bring something that rookies can't always offer: NFL experience, veteran leadership, playoff pedigree. He's not a splashy name, but he's exactly the type of player who can elevate the floor of a defense, especially when injuries hit like they have over and over again for this team. Overshown's injury is brutal. Torn ACL, LCL, and PCL, he missed his rookie year in 2023. Now he's battling just to be ready sometime in 2025. Even if he does return mid-season, the Cowboys need a backup plan. Bentley provides exactly that. Whether as a starter or a rotational linebacker, he would give the Cowboys depth, stability, and a safety net they sorely lacked in 2024. And after losing Eric Kendricks to free agency again this offseason, the timing couldn't be better. Speaking of comebacks, let's talk about CeeDee Lamb. Last season was rough for him, not just because of the team's struggles, but because he missed most of training camp during a contract holdout. He eventually signed a 4-year, $136 million deal late in August, but the damage was done. In a video on his YouTube channel just a few days ago, Lamb opened up calling the holdout the worst experience of his career. He admitted that missing those reps with Dak and the rest of the team really hurt his rhythm to start the year. Still, despite the drama and the injuries, Lamb finished with 101 catches, 1,094 yards, 6 touchdowns, and his 4th straight Pro Bowl nod. Now, he's healthy, Dak is healthy. And the Cowboys added George Pickens to open things up on the outside. Things are finally looking right on offense, which brings us back to defense. And Micah Parsons. You can't talk about the Cowboys' defense without talking about Micah. We've covered his extension drama already, but it's worth repeating. Dallas is on the clock. Parsons is entering the final year of his rookie deal. His camp is reportedly asking for upwards of $36 million per year, putting him in the territory of Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. And while the front office still has time, every day they wait adds pressure, especially if other big-name defenders, like TJ Watt, get paid before Micah. This is why Bentley could be so valuable in the short term. He gives the Cowboys breathing room. He allows Dan Quinn's former defensive system, now led by Matt Eberflus, to stay aggressive without putting too much pressure on young players or rushing overshown back. Cowboys Nation. Here's the bottom line. Jawan Bentley might not be the headline grabber that Micah or CD is, but he's a smart, strategic move, one that could quietly pay huge dividends when the season kicks off. He fills a real need, he's affordable, he's healthy, and most importantly, he knows how to win. And after a 7-10 season full of disappointment, that's exactly the kind of mentality this locker room needs. The Brian Schottenheimer era is off to a steady, confident start. There's a sense of focus and accountability in the building that hasn't always been there. Coaches and players alike have praised the energy and structure Schottenheimer has brought. No fluff, just football. And look, we know how this goes in Dallas. Big headlines, bold quotes, Super Bowl or bust, right? But this offseason, it's been quieter, more calculated. And when you look closer at what Schottenheimer and the front office have done, it starts to make sense why there's a quiet confidence brewing in Frisco. Let's start with personnel. Dallas didn't just make moves for the sake of headlines. They made smart, strategic additions. George Pickens is the most electric new weapon on offense, a potential game-changer alongside CeeDee Lamb and a healthy Dak Prescott. On the offensive line, Tyler Booker was a rock-solid pick in the first round. Defensively, Donovan Ezeruaku and Shaven Revel Jr. were drafted to add firepower and depth. Every move seems to have a purpose, filling real needs with young, hungry talent or high-upside veterans. And don't forget, Schottenheimer also brought in Matt Eberflus as defensive coordinator, giving this team a fresh identity on that side of the ball. Now here's where it gets interesting. Fox Sports. Henry McKenna, who's not always been a Cowboys cheerleader, recently predicted a 10-7 season for Dallas, grabbing the 7th seed in the NFC. Let that sink in for a second. That means playoff football in Schottenheimer's first year, and McKenna didn't stop there. He acknowledged the team's brutal schedule, 5th toughest in the league, but still said this roster is absurdly talented from top to bottom. He even added that Dallas looks foolish in the media this offseason, but warned that this team is way more dangerous than people realize. Now let me ask y'all something. If I offered you a 10-7 season and a playoff berth right now, would you take it? Be honest. Because for Schottenheimer, in his very first season, that would be a major success. Sure, we all want the Super Bowl. This fan base demands nothing less, Munska, but building a contender is a process. Winning 10 games in a year where you're installing a new system, dealing with injuries, and facing a gauntlet of opponents, that would be proof that this team is heading in the right direction. And more importantly, it would show that Dallas can still punch with the heavyweights. If they pull off 10 wins, that means they're holding their own against division rivals like Philadelphia and Washington, both expected to be NFC frontrunners. Let's be real. The national media has been quiet on the Cowboys this offseason. No Super Bowl predictions, no team-to-beat headlines, and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Because when this team isn't being hyped up, when they're focused on football and not the circus, that's when they're at their most dangerous. Brian Schottenheimer isn't promising miracles. He's not making wild declarations. What he is doing is building a foundation, something this team desperately needs. You can feel it. You can see it. And if the pieces fall into place, with Dak healthy, Lamb dialed in, the defense finding its rhythm, this team could be a serious problem for the rest of the NFC. So now I've got a question for you. Should the Cowboys go all in and sign Jawan Bentley right now before training camp? Or should they stay patient and roll with what they've got, including the young guys like Overshown, Revel, and Ezeruaku? Would Bentley be a smart veteran addition, or just a short-term patch? Let me know what you think in the comments. Below, I read every one of them, and I know y'all have some strong opinions on this defense. And if you're new here or haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single Cowboys update. We've got an exciting season ahead, and I promise we'll be with you every step of the way. Thanks for watching, Cowboys Nation. How about them Cowboys?